Why, hello, oh, wait, hang on. Ah, much better. Much clearer and more crisp. Almost as if I upgraded my voice somehow. Anywho, hi, I'm Aether, but this face goes by Trace. I'll be today's yapper and artist. So, if you couldn't tell by my first video being a Pokemon video, I like monster tamer games. Something about collecting little guys and big guys and going on adventures with them to find even more little guys and big guys to befriend just scratches a huge itch in my brain in a way not many other things do. Oh, and saving a world or something along the way is pretty cool too. And while Pokemon is like the biggest one globally, I do want to be more than just a Pokemon channel, even if my heart finds that game to be its slowly breaking down home. Plus, there are like so many more, with a few promising ones on the way. It's a shame they don't get more spotlight. Though how do I incorporate more stuff, more games, more series before I wind up stuck without going too fast? Oh, I know.
It's alive! It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
That's right, everybody. We're going to be doing some weird science. I'm talking about taking critters from one franchise and putting them in another for science and channel expansion. Oh, that's Critter on Fire trying to export the speed paints for some reason, so I guess this video is going to look a bit different than the last. Now, to be clear, I'm imagining each one as if they came from their new game in the first place, with a sort of asterisk for one of the franchises. We'll get to that when we get there. I'll also be trying to get at least close to the game or franchise's main art style, or give the impression that it's meant for it. I'm not the best at emulating some things, so bear with me. And finally, we're going to try to climb up a 4-step ladder of power, starting at a baby critter and moving up to something legendary. With that explained, let's get started with our first little guy and the baby of the video. We're definitely starting at and circling back to Pokemon. It's a major part of my roots as a gamer. But I don't think we'll need an introduction to this shit if you clicked on this video. You saw the thumbnail, you're a gamer too. And what better monster to start our science experiment than the iconic, the famous, the poster child of Pokemon's baby stage. What? I did say we're starting with a baby. You're getting a baby. The baby is Pichu. And the franchise this baby is going to is Temtem. Temtem was the first game in recent years to really get close to being direct competition to Pokemon, coming from an indie studio named Crema, and eventually making its way from PC to consoles. It follows a similar gameplay and story formula to Pokemon, with a couple twists to the mechanics and details that you have to strategize and explore a bit differently than how you would for the big guy itself. It helps the game feel fresh, but still familiar. And now, little Pichu here becomes a new electric mouse for the Tempedia. That's like the Temtem Pokedex, by the way. Meet Mousespark, combining mouse and spark, of course, a simpler name with more English origin as most of the Temtems have. If it's not English, it's usually Latin, Spanish, the language of where its inspiration is from, or Chinese? Huh, neat. It's also got more electrical and sharp details than its Poke counterpart, as is fitting of the overall design choices for the roster of Temtem. Even first stages have a good few details over a lot of the Pokemon that would be comparable. Mousespark is an electric Temtem, with the traits Caffeinated and Vigorous. These traits are meant to be a nod to its Tempedia entry, which states, "With boundless energy, Mousespark is a popular choice for kids and tamers alike, as it's always ready for action and play. It has trouble containing and controlling this energy properly, however. It accidentally hurts itself often when firing large bolts." And since Temtem has its own version of Shinymons, here's Mousespark's Lumicolors. Think of this palette as how it would be colored if not lifted from Pichu. If you do it different though, let me know. I'm curious to see thoughts on these as we go. Moving down the conveyor belt, and to an excuse to yap about experience in other games, we're now converting a Temtem. The Temtem of choice is the middle stage of sorts to my chosen starting Temtem known as Tental, a mental Tem, likely inspired by depictions of eldritch beings and psychics or famous geniuses. It's quite formidable if you ignore the physical frailty. And we're shipping them off to the totally not dangerous world of Palworld. Yeah, you remember that asterisk earlier? It applies here. Without saying too much to get video assassins on me, Palworld was in some controversy on release for, to put it softly, highly derivative designs that were comparable to its inspirations. While Nintendo did attempt some action recently against them, it was for all the wrong reasons, and in a way that has some serious negative implications on their mindset towards healthy competition. Thankfully, they're losing that lawsuit, and Palworld has gone on to take themselves and their designs more seriously and originally. Otherwise, I'm sure you know its shtick, a farming survival sim with pals and guns and murder. But in the spirit of comedy and fun, I'm totally making a pal that's a bit too derivative of its inspiration. Just like the good old days. This is Cosmind, from Cosmic and Mind. Yes, more simple portmanteaus, but that's pretty standard for this genre of game. And as you can see, it's more or less Tental in the Palworld style with legally distinct tweaks. I made it a bit more lizard-esque in spots, adjusted markings and tentacle shapes, and refit its theming to lean more on the cosmic part of cosmic horror. Otherwise, it really is just Tental. Cosmind is a dark element pal who would be best at gathering, medicine craft, and transporting goods. As an alpha, it would hold the title of Mindbender. Its entry in the pal deck states, a smug and haughty pal, known for causing malicious and fatal hallucinations in those it deems unworthy of its time. Should you prove yourself to it through strength or lavish gifts, though, it will spare you and even offer aid. No alternate colors on this one. While there are some pals with subspecies that have other colors and take on other elements than the original, not all of them have one, and less dark elements have one than other elements. Plus, I honestly couldn't be asked. Whoops. Next down the line, we're converting a pal. Do you see the structure now? Genius, I know. But how do you figure out something that feels like a final stage in a game without evolutions? I guess we'll just take something big. Here, it's everyone's favorite tutorial boss, Chillet. Look at that cute little killing machine. And since Palworld is the modern Pokemon with more violence, how about we put Chillet into the OG of that statement? Digimon. Fun fact, Digimon actually came before Pokemon. It started out as a branch of Tamagotchi virtual pets for boys, but it got popular enough that it spun off onto its own separate franchise, with games much more in line with the general monster tamer genre, multiple anime seasons, and merch galore. Though it never got as popular as Pokemon, so often when the two are compared, it's always Pokemon with guns and clothes, and not Digimon with less violence and more animals. I guess them's the breaks. So with the similarity in summaries, why not make a pal into a Digimon? Here is Chillmon. Following the Digimon naming scheme of a word suffixed with or blended into mon for monster. And yeah, somehow Chillmon doesn't exist yet in the 20 to 30 years of Digimon being a thing. There's ice and frigid, but not chill. Weird. Chillmon is a champion level animal or beast type Digimon. When found in the wild, it tends to favor the data or virus attributes, either finding cold climates or making one out of another climate if there is none it finds suitable around. Personality-wise, though, it's typically rather neutral, but loves a challenge to a very violent fault. It would have signature moves known as Bone Chill Slice and Scaled Frost Blast, and would have a profile nodding to its pal roots, reading something like this. A beast Digimon resembling a ferret crossed with a worm or dinosaur. While it is tenacious, fierce, and excitable when presented with a challenge, it prefers an easygoing lifestyle in icy mountain ranges. When befriended, it can sometimes lend travelers smaller than it a hand by letting them ride on their backs, using their spikes as handholds. When aggressed, it unleashes terrible strikes with its claws, using Bone Chill Slice and powerful bursts with its Scaled Frost Blast. Again, we do have subspecies here in Digimon, though they're usually included so the anime and game storylines can have an evil twin to a good Digimon or vice versa. Their attribute might shift, but this doesn't always really impact game mechanics or the anime, and since it's not a common thing, no variant this time either. And now for the finale, our circle back into Pokemon. You know, it's kind of like a sort of irony or cinematic thing that I mentioned Pokemon eclipsing Digimon a little, only to turn a Digimon into a Pokemon. Totally by accident, by the way. Now, while the usual highest tier of Digimon is the Mega tier, I chose an Ultimate tier. Long explanation of modern Digimon complexities short, it possesses some modifiers that give it the feel of a legendary Pokemon, or a Mega tier Digimon, on par with a box art or something like Arceus, for a Pokemon example. This Digimon is Cherubimon, specifically the good-hearted variant affected by the X antibody. Basically, that means it's an extra strong and kind Cherubimon that looks holy as fuck. When hit with the Pokification treatment, we get Cherubim, the Virtuous Pokemon. It's electric fairy type, with a signature ability named Kind Heart that lowers opposing attack and special attack at the start of battle. Yes, I did just make a slightly busted Intimidate, but the idea is that the opponent can just feel Cherubim's amazing kindness, and they lose a bit of their will to fight because it feels wrong to fight now. I'd make up a signature move based on Cherubimon's signature ability, Shocking Hug You, but that might be overkill. Expect Cherubim to know Palmot's move Revival Blessing though, as fun fact 2 of the video, bunnies are actually a big part of optimizing defibrillators due to their hearts being close in structure to ours, and Palmot being like a defibrillator sumo marmot. Yeah, kinda gotta steal the move there. Bunnies are also related to angels and Easter because they were often depicted with the fertility and new beginnings goddess of Celtic myth, Eoster, which is how Easter got its name. Yay for English takeover, am I right? Anyhow, a dex entry for Cherubim would go something like, its body holds an immense energy from the goodwill of humans and Pokemon throughout the ages. Cherubim's hugs are how it judges one's nature, and upon a failure, it sends a permanent paralyzing shock through them to make them no longer a threat. Yeah, that's why a shocking hug move would be broken. It's either 100% paralysis or being a one-hit KO move with better accuracy than most one-hit KOs. Because if you're not made into an egg again to restart on the good side, Cherubimon just fucking vaporizes you. Neat! And of course, a Pokemon needs its shiny. And as you may have counted, that makes 4 monsters, which makes 4 at the end of the video. Eh? Okay, yeah, that one was kinda corny. But did you like the monsters? Comment below what's your favorite of these, least favorite, if you have any better ideas for stuff like their abilities, whatever floats your goat. And with that, outro time. Thank you all for watching, very much so. If you like the video, then, well, like the video. Maybe subscribe if you want to, you know, do the comment thing like I mentioned before. And, yeah, if you couldn't tell, I got a new microphone. That's why I made the joke at the beginning of the video. So maybe streaming might come a little earlier than I thought it would have. Who knew? Quick editing Aether here. I'm actually probably going to stream after this video is uploaded or the day after, depending on when I get it uploaded. So yeah, see you then. Follow me on Twitch, AetherBeast. I actually wound up having the money for this. Amazing. With that though, again, thank you all for watching, and this is Aether, leaving to roost.